Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Corey.
And I'm Matt. And each week this podcast will serve as a catalyst for discussion on all sorts of topics that grind our gears, rev our engines, or just need a bit more conversation.
And on this week's episode, we are fortunate enough to sit down and talk with the producer and publisher of a children's book series, most notably T is for Turbo, a favorite of our family. Yes, sitting right here in front of us. A favorite of our family and my 2-year-old son, Tucker. And we will talk to him about all things automotive and just a little history of his books and how he got to where he is. But as for us, if you want to find out more of what we're into and what we're doing, you can head on over to gtgaragetalk.com. There you'll find links to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as the latest car news and things that we are into, just things that are going on in the automotive world. There's
blog posts and all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot going on, including our very first car show, which we've talked about a lot here.
We have talked about it.
Yes.
It's like right around the corner.
You know, by the time this airs for all of our listeners, it'll be a month away.
Less than
a month away. If you have no idea what we're talking about, it is Garage Talk's Unlikely Heroes car show, and that is coming up Saturday, October 24th, right here in Tyler, Texas. And it's a car show unlike any other.
Most definitely.
Yeah, in that it's a car show for the rest of us.
Right.
So, Festivus for the rest of us, this is a car show for the rest of us. And so if you've got a car that's got some dents, dings, maybe some duct tape or zip ties holding things together, or over 200,000 miles on it, we want you in our car show.
Absolutely.
So head on over to gtgaragetalk.com/car show, and you will find out all that you need to know about our car show. We've got prizes and things to give away. It's going to be a fun event.
I've invited a couple of people to the car show, and one in particular, a guy I work with, he looked at me like, "What? I don't have a fancy car. I don't have anything. My car's not special." I said, "That's exactly the point. That's exactly what we want. It's the everyday, get you back and forth to work, normal cars.
The unlikely heroes of the world.
That's
because
exactly
without
right.
them, we wouldn't have day jobs. We wouldn't be able to afford money for our project vehicles or any of our hobbies. So these are the cars that get no love any other way, and we are going to shower them with love at our car show on October 24th.
Absolutely.
So before we dive into our book and discussion with Mike about T is for Turbo and his production company and all his other books that they produce, I wanted to get into, this has been a crazy week. So we are now officially in fall.
Yes.
And with fall comes the new automotive season where all the new models, the 2021s, are dropping and coming out. And my goodness, this week has been just a deluge of car news. Like, being that we both work full-time jobs,
right,
and are trying to keep up with everything going on in the automotive world, this week has been tough.
It's been a lot.
There has been countless, and it's not like small things. It's big.
Oh, yeah.
Big events. So we'll just kind of jump right into a little bit of car news that has happened this week.
Yeah.
First and foremost, so SUVs have become all the rage,
right?
Which has kind of been to the detriment of sports cars and
definitely.
Like, they're
family cars.
Yeah, they're trying to make SUVs sporty. There are sport level, like the new Blazer, which is not a Blazer.
No, it's not.
How we would define a Blazer.
It's not even SUV.
Comes in an RS trim, and it looks like a Camaro of SUVs. So obviously, sportiness and athleticism is trying to creep its way into a very unsporty and unathletic vehicle. And that leads perfectly into what our friends over at Acura have announced just this week with their RDX PMC edition that only comes in this gorgeous thermal orange pearl paint.
Orange.
Yes, thermal orange pearl paint. That is the only color it comes in, and I think it looks stunning. So
what's PMC?
You know what? I don't even care at this point. We'll get into it just a little bit. So first and foremost, it is a hand-built version of their most popular SUV.
So it's expensive.
Well, yeah. We'll get a little bit further into that.
All right.
So the RDX is their most popular. It's the compact crossover that Acura sells, but they are going to be making 360 of these hand-built special editions.
That's almost enough for every day of the year.
Almost. Just
you have to drive something else for those other days.
Those last 5 days. But why would you want that many of the exact same color? No, nothing. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to run down the spec list of what you get with this exclusive RDX PMC edition.
All right, let's hear it.
So thermal orange pearl paint, which
right.
I already said I love.
Yeah.
A unique PMC edition number serial plate to know which of the 360 you own. Gloss black 20-inch split 5-spoke wheels and black lug nuts. Gloss black roof panel with panoramic sunroof. Gloss black door handles. Gloss black diamond pentagon grille with body color grille surround. Gloss black door mirrors. Are you sensing a theme? With auto dimming, dual black chrome exhaust finish exhaust, and ebony Milano leather sport interior with black ultra suede inserts and orange stitching. Leather wrap steering wheel with A-Spec badge and orange stitching, and premium floor mats with metal A-Spec badging and orange stitching. Yes.
I knew they were going to throw the orange.
Yeah.
So the outside is orange with a little bit of black, and the inside is black with a little bit of orange.
So I love it. And, for heading into October,
right?
What better color combination could you ask for?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a pumpkin.
Yes, it is. So, yes, I do not know what PMC stands for, Matt. Do you?
I don't.
Yeah.
I was hoping you knew. You're the one with the news.
I've got the press release right here in front of me. But no, I really don't care that much. Everything in here is PMC. No explanation. I'm sure. Light us up in the comments. Let us know what we're missing out on here. But, yeah, so if you want something rare but sporty that can haul around your family.
The Google told us
Yeah.
what PMC stands for.
What does the Google say?
The Google says it's their performance department, basically.
Well, that's
so
just lame.
Performance Manufacturing Center.
So it's like
SRT,
AMG and
SVT,
yeah. Okay.
all that stuff.
I'm not a Honda/Acura guy, so roast me in the comments. I'm fine with it. Lesson learned.
Google knows all.
Google does know all, and they're listening to this conversation
Absolutely.
right now, I'm sure. So, another bit of interesting, sporty...
But wait, there's more.
...car news of the week. This actually does involve sports cars and sports sedans, so a 2- and 4-door car, believe it or not.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like legit sedan and coupe?
Yeah. Sits low center of gravity, actually corners worth a darn.
Right.
And, is fun to drive.
Yeah.
In addition to being able to haul people and things around. So BMW has announced the very controversially styled M3 and M4. So the M3 is the sedan, the M4 is the coupe. And yes, some people say it looks like a hog. Some people say it's got Bucky Beaver teeth.
Either would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, but seriously, just Arkansas Razorback.
Yeah.
Just Google Arkansas Razorback and then compare it to the new M3 and M4. I'm telling you, same thing.
So I will say, I wrote a blog post about this a while back, so you can head over to gtgarage.com and you'll definitely see the white BMW that I selected for the image on that one. But I am okay with car makers taking risks in design.
Right.
And they definitely did with this one. I'm not a fan personally.
Right.
As is most of the internet world, apparently, because it is bold, it is in your face, and it is just another one of the many vehicles with a larger-than-life grille.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the profile is full-blown BMW.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Right. But that face, though. It's a butterface.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
So, new generation M3 and M4 will have a 473 horsepower core model. So that is like the base M model, and then a 503 horsepower competition model. The MSRP for the M3, so the sedan, starts at $69,900, and the M4 starts at $71,800, plus, as near as makes no difference, $1,000 destination charge.
Oh, sure, yeah.
MX Drive is available on the competition model, so that's our all-wheel drive, starting in the summer, and they are set for a market launch of March of 2021.
Okay.
So you can have your own Razorback vehicle in the driveway. I don't know.
Does it come in red?
I'm sure it does. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, they just went too far.
Yeah.
They could have gone bold with a big grill, and
it's a little much.
It's just too much. And you know, all the press images have the European license plates with which are the long, skinny ones, covering up half of the grill. And I think it only makes it worse.
It's a nose ring.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to unsee that now.
You're welcome.
That is all I can see. Yeah.
And you're welcome too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think what was Bebo and Rocksteady on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? One of those was the pig with the nose ring. So yeah, showing my age here a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So all right, so that is all for the petrol heads of the world. That's what we've got there for gasoline powered motoring. Just today, so we're recording this on Wednesday, September 23rd. I had to look for it. Just today, VW announced their next car for the people.
Okay.
Their plan of world electric domination.
Yeah.
I joke, but this will be one of their best sellers.
Probably.
I see moving forward, and that is the ID4 all-electric compact SUV. And so the European market has already got the ID3. It's the compact sedan hatchback that is based on Volkswagen's new modular electric vehicle platform.
Okay.
It's skateboard platform, so they can do all sorts of things with it.
Yeah.
And today, for the American market, they announced the ID4 because we're crossover crazy over here in the States. And so starting today, Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't even know what day it is, Wednesday, September 23rd. So whatever day you're listening to this, you can go to VW.com right now and reserve yours for just $100. They will be doing a first edition that comes in special paint colors and has a white steering wheel, which I'm still kind of torn on. I know how nasty and disgusting my steering wheel is, and it's black. A white steering wheel, probably not great for eating hamburgers in the car.
I'm sensing some similarities. The $100 guarantee deposit, right? There's another auto manufacturer who did that just recently.
Was it Ford with a Bronco?
I think? Yeah.
So,
and also the first edition is also what the first edition Bronco is called, is it not?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm just throwing that out there.
Ram also did that with the new TRX pre-order.
Right.
So you can reserve yours, and they did a first edition or a launch edition, as they called it, and they sold out within minutes. So
yeah. I don't know why you would want one, but
700 plus horsepower and a awesome truck. Yeah. Well, stay tuned because I will be checking one out in person very soon, and can't wait to bring that news to you. I am not bored, and I cannot wait to see it. But that's just me. Anyway, so back to the ID4.
Yeah.
Quick specs on it. Reservations start today in 50 states. Will launch early 2021. The first edition is the quickest way to get one. They're doing it right. Some vehicles will have a launch edition, and they're one of the last ones to get it. So think when Jeep launched the Gladiator, all the launch editions were not the first ones to go out, which was a PR nightmare for Jeep.
Yeah.
So reservations start. MSRP starts at $39,995 before any incentives for electric vehicles, federal or anything like that. There is a $7,500 federal tax credit that can be applied. Estimated 250 miles of range on the first edition.
Okay.
It'll come first and foremost as a rear-wheel drive with 201 horsepower. Don't forget that lonely.
So it'll drift.
Yep. Yeah. It'll have an 82 kilowatt hour battery launching first, and then it'll come with an all-wheel drive option, 302 horsepower.
So it'll rally.
Yes, and an 82 kilowatt hour battery. 3 years of DC fast charging on their Electrify America network is available. I did check them out, though. Their network is nowhere near the Tesla Supercharger network. In fact, the closest one to us is way out of the way because they are not yet on the I-20 corridor with their chargers. So go to Electrify America, check out their grid, and see if that's a selling point for you. But 3 years of fast charging is included with the purchase. Something Tesla did do for a long time with their superchargers, but have ceased as it has become unprofitable. They've built their brand up enough they don't have to. And one of my favorite things about it, and we'll put a link in the bio and show notes. So they teased a video as they launched this, and the headlights of this, the higher level with the adaptive LED lights, look like little eyeballs, and they kind of look around. It's cool. It's funky. It's something else to break, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
But it looks fun.
Your techie is showing.
My techie is showing. I do love technology. What can I say? And last but not least, if we're going to talk electric vehicles, and especially news that broke this week, so Tesla had a big event, their Battery Day, as they called it, and one of the biggest things to come from it was the launch of the new Plaid Edition Model S. Are you familiar with the Plaid Edition now?
No.
So they've done some crazy things with battery technology. And basically, as far as the end consumer is concerned, we now have the fastest ever production vehicle in the world.
Is that right?
In the Tesla Model S Plaid Edition. So I'm on their website right now. I will click Order Now. I will click the Plaid Edition. And it says the only thing beyond ludicrous is plaid. So right here, over 520 miles worth of range.
Fantastic.
So you're not sacrificing anything in range with this crazy.
Actually gaining a little bit.
Right. Over 200-mile top speed. It says 200-mile top speed, but 200-mile top speed in less than 2 seconds, 0 to 60.
Right.
And that's like instantaneous torque. So like insane.
Yeah.
Beyond the ludicrous. It's plaid.
Right.
I cannot wait to experience this. I have to experience this somehow, some way.
Do you remember like when you and I were growing up and anything sub 6 second, 0 to 60 was blistering?
Yeah.
Right. And
now it's just run of the mill.
Anything 4 second sub was like wow, crazy fast. And then was it the Viper or the Z06 or somebody broke through that 3 second.
Yeah.
And it was
and then the GTR
oh my goodness,
was like in the mid 2s, and everybody thought that was insane.
Oh yeah. To be less than 2 seconds.
Less than 2 seconds.
Like, just for instance, here's 2 seconds. Ready? That was 2 seconds.
And you're going 60 miles an hour.
Right.
That's insane. So, do you know what all this will cost you, though, Matt?
Ooh.
You can see my computer. Don't look.
It's worse than I thought.
Yeah, that's a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
So $134,490 to get you in the door with the Plaid Edition.
Wow.
But you can go on Tesla's website and find out all about their crazy new battery technology. It's some awesome stuff. They're doing some crazy stuff over there. But it is truly amazing what we are finding the capabilities to do as a human race in the automotive world.
No kidding.
I cannot wrap my head around sub 2 seconds in a production vehicle.
Yeah.
Like that's like a rocket car. Can you imagine this being in the hands of some of the people out on the road that we share the road with? I'm actually starting to get worried the more I think about it.
Right.
That this will be available to the public. And luckily, there is a high barrier of entry. Not just every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the road is going to be driving a Plaid Edition Model S.
Right. So I have some, let's call it off-road news instead of all the on-road stuff you just shared with us.
Yeah.
Mine's also a little more reasonably priced, too, instead of the astronomical numbers that you're throwing out over there, $134,000. Mine is actually
change.
Comes in small price of $4,290.
Oh, that really is chump change in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. And it comes in the form of a new package to the Ranger.
Yeah.
Did you see this last week?
I did. I am ashamed. I have not covered it yet on our website.
All right. Well,
maybe that's a blog post for you to write.
Maybe I'll take care of this one because I'm really stoked. Ford decided to go ahead with a trimmer package for the Ranger, and
why not?
Well, yeah, why not? We're not getting the Raptor Ranger anytime soon, so why not have a trimmer package? For those who don't know, the trimmer package is the off-road package for the Super Duty trucks. Which go check that out. That's a wicked truck too, especially with the 7.3 Godzilla under the hood. It's amazing. But this one, it's same drivetrain. So still getting the 10-speed automatic, still getting the 2.3 turbo 4. But they threw a lot of parts at this truck, and that's what excites me the most. So
basically, they're coming for the ZR2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Colorado ZR2.
Right, and different steering knuckles up front, different springs out back. Like I mentioned before, the 2.3 liter turbocharged inline 4, 270 horsepower, 310 foot-pounds of torque.
Well, it's just,
and there's companies out there like crazy who are pushing those numbers closer to 400 already. So, I love it. It's got kind of a goofy graphics package on it. I'm not real thrilled with that, but you can get it on the XLT and the Lariat trim levels.
I'm sure there's a delete option for those.
Probably so.
Yeah, I'm not a fan for many graphics on vehicles. Our Trailhawk has the hood graphic to eliminate glare on the trail. That's about as far as I'd go with graphics on a vehicle. Yeah. But you know what? It's a shame you're not going to be able to buy that new in California much longer.
When you brought this up earlier, like I had to pick my jaw up off the floor.
This isn't the first time they've done it, but our last little bit of automotive news before we jump into the meat of this episode is the California governor today signed an executive order that will ban the sale of any combustion or emission-producing vehicle brand new in the state of California starting in 2035.
So I wonder if they're including the, you said emission-producing vehicle. Right. I wonder if they're counting the battery production and
So basically EVs and hybrid, or not hybrid, but hydrogen cell vehicles are all you are going to be able to buy for the non-commercial market in California, brand new, starting in 2035, which will have trickle-down implications for the rest of the nation because California is the largest market for new vehicles in America, and how California goes is how the rest of the world goes. It's why you are seeing an arms race to electrification right now. It's because California is really pushing this mandate on the rest of the U.S. with their stringent standards of emissions, as well as now going full bore and saying 2035 it's got to be electric or hydrogen powered.
And I just don't think it's a good idea to and I won't get political with it, but to
put all your eggs in
regulate the free market industry like this. Like, we're going to drive prices through the roof by coming in with these regulations and things.
It'll be really interesting to see if this sticks because, like I said, they've tried it before and it hasn't. There is 15 years before this goes into effect, so a lot can change in that 15 years. And what does this mean for petrol heads and the rest of the nation? Because there is still 49 other states that are willing to buy gasoline-powered. But will the demand be there to justify automakers continuing to make them? The interesting part to me, and our California listeners can help us out on this, give us some feedback because what we're hearing here in Texas is that there have been rolling blackouts in the state of California because of electrical grid issues in the state. And these two things don't really jive if you're going all electric with your vehicles, but the state can't provide power to plug in said vehicle.
Right.
So if you live in California and you are a gearhead listening to this, please sound off and let us know. Email us at gtgaragetalk@gmail.com or head over to our website, gtgaragetalk.com. And let us know, because we truly want to hear from you, our listeners, not the news, not anything partisan or biased. We want to hear from you. What are you experiencing there on the ground? What are your thoughts on the future of the automotive industry? This could very well make it a nationwide mandate, just with the power that California is wielding here. And whether or not this sticks, we shall see.
We shall see.
But we alluded to the fact that we have a special guest this week, and that is Mike Myers with Motorhead Children's Book Series, Motorhead Garage Productions.
Yeah.
And so we want to bring him on and just have a little discussion with Mike this evening about his ventures and his production company. So we'd like to thank Mike for joining us this evening. Mike, say hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing quite well. We are beyond thrilled to have you on our episode this evening, and just to go into a little bit in depth into the history of your company and the book that caught my family's eye, and that is T is for Turbo. So yes, we've got Mike here with us. Mike, why don't you just kind of give us a quick synopsis of your company and what got you to where you are today?
Okay. Yeah, I was just an idea that hit me one day. I actually have a whole series of books. You're holding my most popular one, the ABC book. But I started off with bedtime stories. So this was actually my first one, The Noisy Snails.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
it's a twin turbo setup. Yeah, it was a fun book. Kind of inspired by hearing a loud diesel truck. I heard the turbo whistling.
Nice.
And I said to myself, that's a noisy snail. And then from there, it kind of just snowballed.
Yeah.
But like you said, you were showing the T is for Turbo. Actually, that's also my newest one. I came out with a board book version of it. So you can kind of see the difference there.
Yeah, we're going to have to order that one from you soon.
Yeah. Let me, you know what, honestly, just send me an address. I can send it to you. I owe you guys. I appreciate you having me on. Yeah. No, it kind of just snowballed. I wrote the first one, and I saw the response I got from literally just releasing just a cover, like before I even had a book published. People were so excited about it, and it was pretty motivating. So it kind of pushed me along the ways. And then people started sending me the pictures of them reading the books to their kids, and then it became really real, you know. And it was something that I was like, okay, wow, I did this, you know, and now I got to kind of continue it.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like it was a book a year. I kind of was publishing a book every year. So now I have a series of 6 books. So I don't know if you've seen the rest of them. I've got them all here. But I have The Noisy Snails, which was the one I just showed. The sequel to that would be The Whiny Supercharger. Then I have one of my favorite stories, which is The Sideways Sliders.
Nice.
It's all about drifting. Yeah, that was a good story. So this one, they're out drifting in the streets in an empty parking lot. One of the cars actually crashes, and then, long story short, they get a safe spot, an actual real racetrack at the end of the story to drift safely.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was, like I said, that's one of my favorite ones. Then I had the Sprocket Rocket. That's a motorcycle book.
Of course.
This one promotes. Yeah, this one promotes motorcycle awareness. So I figured if I can get kids pointing out motorcycles at an early age, maybe, you know, some motorcycle awareness, motorcycle safety could help along the way.
That's fantastic.
To go along with all the books. Is he a motorcycle rider?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you got to stay safe out there as much as you can.
Absolutely.
And then I have a coloring book that goes along with it. So this just takes pages out of the stories.
Nice.
And it's just for kids to color.
That's fantastic.
It kind of just snowballed into a full-length series. So, I mean, sky's the limit with it. I have a million more ideas, a million more books in the works. And I'd like to see where it'll go. You know, I'm open to any option at this point.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing this?
I published the first one when I was 23. I'm 30 now, so it's been about a little more than 7 years.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. So, one of our typical questions as we have guests on our show is diving into their personal car history and where they've been and what they're driving now. So, hit some of the highlights or lowlights, however the case may be, in your personal car history.
Okay. It started out, my dad was in the car business. My dad works for Volkswagen Subaru. He's been there pretty much my entire life. My first car was a 2.0 slow Volkswagen Jetta, automatic, unfortunately. I had my fun in it. It was a great first car. The first car I ever bought myself, though, is actually this middle one that I kind of mimicked from. It was a Nissan 240.
Nice.
It was previously motor swapped, which learned very quickly I should have done that myself, rather than buying someone else's project. But it did have the SR20 motor in it, so that was my first experience with a turbo.
So my brother is a
car.
huge 240 fan, and I grew up my entire childhood listening to him talk about SR20 DETs. And so as soon as he said that, I was like, oh gosh, here we go again.
Yep. I know all about it. I made the mistake of trying to daily drive it. That didn't work out too well for me. But it was a fun car. I did end up selling that right before publishing my first book. Okay. So I actually sold that car, and that funded the first book. So it's kind of funny. I kind of laugh about it as much as I wish I still had that car today.
Yeah.
It served its purpose.
Yeah,
and it kind of put me in line for everything else that came about.
And it lives on in your book. So
yeah.
As do all my vehicles. I mean, this Rocket was a bike of mine. I had an R1, and I powder coated the wheels purple.
Awesome.
So that one lives on as well. The next car, I had a hand-me-down car from my mother. Actually, it was another Volkswagen. This was a stick shift Passat.
Nice.
That had the turbo motor in it. So that was just like a little commuter car. The next car I actually bought myself, I bought a Lexus IS 300, which I still have today. So that's 2JZ motor, if you're familiar with it.
Oh yeah,
straight six. No turbo on it yet. I still own it. I did find it in a 5-speed, so I wanted 5-speed rear-wheel drive was kind of what I was looking for at the time. That was my daily for about six years, I would say, at least. And then recently, that actually is my project car, my fun car. I plan on road racing it. So
nice.
Very cool.
It's got a new purpose now. I picked up a 2000 Subaru 2.5 RS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one. It's got the big circle glass fog light.
Oh yeah.
That's my daily.
Very cool.
So I drive that as a daily. And then as a treat to myself with the books taken off, I actually bought a Cadillac ATS-V.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was starting to wonder if you were going to get into the domestic vehicles there. I'm like, okay, import. Okay. So
yeah. So that is the one thing I'm missing though is a V8. I have the itch for a V8 now. The Cadillac is a 3.6 6-cylinder twin turbo. A lot of power, a lot of fun. But for some reason, I have the itch for a V8. And at this point, I'm considering myself a car collector because I don't want to sell any of my cars. So as long as I have the room for it, I figure, the next step will probably be a V8. Yeah. Not sure what it'll be yet, but that kind of
as a Camaro guy, I would just point you towards the Camaro, an SS or, maybe a ZL1, something like that.
Yeah, because he wants to buy a car that's going to be dying off in a couple of years. That's
rumors and hearsay. I mean,
I do like them. It would be a consideration for sure. I think I want something a little older. I don't know if I want to quite go as far as saying I want a classic, but
yeah,
I'm not sure. But like I said, I think the next vehicle will definitely be a V8.
Awesome.
Interesting.
I just traded my pickup a couple of weeks ago for a Hawkeye, an 07
Look at you.
Subaru.
Look at
See?
you dropping terms.
I know, right? 2 weeks as a Subaru owner, I'm already picking out those little things. But yeah, no, 2.5i, 5-speed. It's my first all-wheel drive anything, and it's different. It's very different.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to. Mine's, slow and not very fun, I guess. But actually, you know what? I take that back because it's an enjoyable car to drive. There's something about it that I do really appreciate. And then just the beauty of being able to get in it and drive it all year round is, it serves its purpose for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love this little car. The first time I drove it, I was like, man, this is really cool. Like it's set up to be a fun car, but it's also a very useful car. So I really enjoy it.
No question. Does it leak oil?
I haven't noticed it yet.
So far, all the Subarus I've encountered had some sort of oil leak, which mine is no exception there.
Well, I'm used to that because I'm originally an air-cooled Volkswagen guy. So the whole oil leak thing that's normal. That's commonplace.
What kind of air cool did you have?
I had 4 or 5 different bugs. I had a couple of Super Beetles and a couple of standard Beetles. So
He's got the bug.
I do have the bug.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. We do as well. We're Volkswagen guys, like I said. So my brother's a big Volkswagen guy right now. He drives a GTI. I believe it's a 2015. I want to say.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's got a flashed. Nothing too crazy on it, but it's his daily. And like I said, we're Volkswagen guys. We always have been.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about a little bit of car news that we've already covered earlier in this episode, and that is today VW announced their first all-electric crossover SUV. As a car guy, as a gearhead, and as a VW aficionado or somebody who's very passionate with a very long history of VWs, what are your thoughts on all-electric V-dubs?
I mean, you kind of have to, I would think at this point. You got to get into the market. There's, they're successful, obviously. I mean, Tesla's proved that. You can't go out on the road pretty much without seeing a Tesla.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're working.
Yeah.
I don't have too much personal experience with the electric vehicles, so I don't want to say one way or the other. Yeah. I'm a motorhead, you know what I mean? I like the combustion. I like gas-powered vehicles. But you know what? I'm slowly starting to accept it. I mean, the Porsche that just came out, what was that one called? So that's a beautiful car, and I've heard really, really good things about that. As far as the Volkswagen, I mean, I'm not surprised that they're jumping into the market, and it'd be safe to say it's going to be a nice vehicle.
Yeah, I think they're pretty. They're cute.
Yeah,
I'm not rushing out to get one anytime soon, but
no, me neither. Yeah. I'd probably venture into one of the hybrids first with the mix where they have the electric motors and the gas motor combined before I'd go full electric. Something just scares me honestly with the range and then having to charge it. I don't want to be sitting at a charge station waiting for my car to charge to get back on the road. That's just my biggest fear in that.
You are not alone on that. That is the American public's number one reason for not jumping into electric vehicles is range anxiety.
No surprise there. Yeah, it makes sense. So I saw a funny picture one time of a Tesla being charged up by a gas-powered generator. I thought that was pretty funny, pretty ironic as well.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Well, before we venture way too far off topic, we do want to talk about your company and your business and your books. And so I've alluded to it multiple times. This was our family's introduction into your company and through your books. And I can tell you're a very smart man for putting different covers on the back, because my 2-year-old is already telling me, want the other cars, Daddy? Want the other cars, Daddy? So
awesome. It's working.
Yes. We will be ordering the full set from you without delay here very soon. You mentioned it a little bit in your lead up to your company, but what does it feel like seeing all the pictures come in and being tagged in social media? I know I did it from our account as well, of people reading these with their kids. What's that do for you?
It was, in the beginning, surreal. Soon after that, though, it gave me a sense of responsibility. So the first one I wrote, the Noisy Snails Turbos, it was a drag race. It was just a fun story. As soon as I started seeing, families sharing this with their, kids that were just born even, it took on, like I said, a sense of responsibility. So that's where I started incorporating the safety aspect of things, showing people that, it is a motorsport. So obviously there are dangers involved, but these are passions of ours. So those dangers aren't going to stop us from enjoying what we like to enjoy. So like I said, the responsibility factor came in to kind of, do it the right way and show that, you can have a good time, but also implement the safety and the importance of safety. So that was the biggest thing that changed once I saw, the response it was getting and, how much people really appreciated it. So it did kind of change my writing a little bit from that point on. Yeah. But then, it's just awesome to see, I've got people reading the books in their garage or bedtime, with my books, it was surreal. There's no other word other than surreal. And an honor, it was cool to just, I appreciate that. I love when people, I hope it never stops. I would love,
to be a part of a family tradition as integral as bedtime is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I even just an hour ago, somebody commented on my last post on my Facebook page saying, it's still her daughter's favorite book. She's 7 years old now, and she's been reading my book. She just won't give it up. And I don't even know how to respond to that really, but it's awesome, just to put it lightly.
That's way cool. Way cool. I've been a part of, I've got a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we have a copy of T is for Turbo. And I've been a part of a couple of different, I believe it's called Strong Fathers with my oldest at his school. And one of the things that they talk about there is the importance of dads reading to their kids. And I think these books are exactly what dads want and dads need to excite them. Absolutely. Also in that pursuit of reading to their kids. Just it's awesome to see. It's not that moms are worse at reading or anything like that. It's that dads are different when they read to their kids, and the importance of having both mom read and dad read to the kids is there. So I applaud you for diving off into this head first with these books. They're awesome, and I appreciate it. Just for me and my boys, for sure.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. And I have heard that as well. I've had actually a wife who bought the book for her child and her husband to read it to him, and she thanked me simply just for making something that her husband wanted to read.
Yeah, right.
It was big, and they she was listening into their story time, and he was making all the turbo sounds.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's just cool, because the dad's into it, so it's. It's nothing that has to be faked. It's not just some simple, the red race car book or whatever it is. It really gets in depth and really hits the passion that, that guy feels. And he's able to pass it on to his kids. So it's genuine, and it's awesome.
That is really so cool.
I always like it. So we've got a wide collection of books in Tucker's room for bedtime, and when he goes and selects this one, I'm like, all right, we're getting into this one. So it's a fun one. Mommy may zone out a little bit while we're reading it, but it's fun for daddy and son.
That's right.
For sure. But so we've had on previous episodes, Mark Mathot, the producer and owner of Cartoons Magazine, and we asked him a question about what goes into the production of a magazine, which he's on a much tighter time frame than you because he's got a regular production schedule. You alluded to earlier being about one book per year. So what does a day in the life or a week or a year in the life of a children's book producer look like?
For me personally, it's a lot of trips to the post office at this point. I'm I'm shipping books all over the world. It's crazy. I have a pretty big market in Australia, which
awesome.
Unfortunately it's kind of tough to get to them. It costs a lot of money for me to ship from. I'm in New Jersey. It costs a lot of money to ship from New Jersey to Australia, but if they're willing to pay it, I'm willing to try and get it to them. The other side of things is I like to go to local car shows. So I'll set up a booth. I live in a town called Acco, and we have we don't have much, but we do have a drag strip raceway.
Nice.
So I was actually there just this weekend for one of the first events. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys have been highly affected as well with the whole pandemic and the shutdown. We kind of got robbed of a car show season, but we did squeeze one in, like I said, this Sunday, and it was nice to just get out there. I have a booth I set up, just a table, and I'll set my books up, and I have a little clothing line that I do as well. But it's cool. I'll sit there and I'll sell books to people and sign them right there. So it's almost like an author signing, but at the same time, I'm putting my company out there and making connections and just meeting the people, and it's fun. I really enjoy doing that as well. And then, big social media presence and anything I can do to kind of push it out there. I feel like, I'm a one-man band at this point. So it's kind of tough. I'm spread a little thin. Yeah. But anything like your podcast that I'm doing right now is great for me, so things like that just keep me busy.
So you mentioned social media. Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You guys can email me if you want. I do have a website. It's mhgproductions.com. So I'll take in orders from there. That's what equates to my post office trips. I'll take orders there and then send them out. And then Facebook, Motorhead Garage Productions, and Instagram, same thing, Motorhead Garage Productions. Instagram was a big start for me. When I mentioned earlier, where I was promoting even just the cover photo of the first book, it kind of all started on Instagram. That's where it kind of gained its traction. Yeah. And just rolled from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, we will definitely be sure and remind everybody, go check out Mike, his pages, his website, and get your copy of his books before it's too late. Because I'm sure we are going to create a rush on it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
that'd be great.
I would very much like to hear that there was a big spike in orders this week after this episode dropping, and you're welcome. We're very humble here at Garage Talk. So, but
keep me busy, please.
Oh yeah.
One last question about the company, and then we'll dive into Matt's favorite segment. What would you say is your most popular book?
Definitely the ABC book.
Yeah.
P is for Turbo. Has to be. It was, I haven't checked recently, but it held the bestseller spot on Amazon for like a full year, which was
nice.
That's incredible.
Crazy to me.
Well,
Yeah, crazy.
That's how we heard about you. So it was actually Matt's brother-in-law tagged us in a Facebook post and was like, "You've got to check out this book. You need to get this book." Yeah. And so long and the short of it,
That's
now
awesome.
We have the book. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've definitely created some competition out there. I've seen some books pop up and kind of try and go along with the theme that I like to take credit for creating. I as well like to be a little humble. But I do want to note that right now the only place to get the board book version that I have here is on my website.
Okay.
I have not been able to get this on Amazon just yet. I do plan on getting it on Amazon, but right now the only place to get it is my website.
Okay.
So everything else that I have is available on Amazon now.
Cool.
Wow. That is awesome. Matt, do you want to lead us in, or do you have any other questions for Mike before we jump into?
Oh no, I love it. So this is it's not my favorite part. Talking to you is my favorite part of the interview, but I really enjoyed this part of the interview because we get an opportunity to find out a little more about you. A couple of these questions I'm leaning one way already because of some of your answers and some of your car history already. But this is called Random Misfire. And as you mentioned earlier, there's 8 questions because all engines should be 8 cylinders, right? So we'll just go back and forth. Corey and I'll ask each a question, and just some of them are yes or no questions. Some of them are either or. Some of them, you'll have to give a little more information to it, but just some fun little random misfire questions. So,
and there are wrong answers to some of these. Quite possibly the first one I'll ask. There is a wrong answer to that one.
Well, Corey, do you want to kick us off with the first question?
All right, since I set myself up for that one. All right, first question, random misfires. So, do you name your cars?
I do.
Awesome. See, you got it right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if all of them have names, but yes, I definitely do.
Cool. Very cool.
Any notable ones that you want to share with the listening audience out there?
You know what? They're not really that special.
Yeah.
My Lexus I call Lexi.
Yeah.
The Cadillac is the Caddy. I guess that's not really a great name either.
Sometimes the most obvious name is the right name.
Yeah, it kind of just comes. But we have this really ugly S10 that we bought. It's like this ugly teal green with a pink stripe on it.
Oh man!
And we call that one beast. We call that one beast mode for some reason. It's a little 4-cylinder, 5-speed. My brother came up with it, so I mean that's just kind of. Yeah, that's kind of just stuck.
That's fantastic.
The Subaru is the Soob or the Scoob.
Scoob.
And, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with them.
Very cool.
So I guess the Lexus is the only one that has a real name.
Yeah.
Lexi.
Yeah. That works.
I like it.
Yeah.
So you're 1 for 1 so far.
All right.
Cool.
You alluded to this a little bit earlier, or that your first car was an automatic, but what's your preference? What would you rather, manual or automatic?
Oh. Save the manuals, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Stick shift for sure.
Yeah, we're both driving
Even
stick shifts as we speak right now, but we'll see how long that lasts over in my family.
Believe it or not, my Cadillac is actually a 6-speed.
Oh, fantastic.
You did it right.
The ATS.
So, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this one, you can't get wrong. Okay? I'll take all the pressure off of that one. So this is purely opinion. Now, our audience may disagree with the fact that you can't get it wrong, but what is your favorite car movie?
Ooh. That's tough. I mean, my gut instinct is to say the original Fast and the Furious, just because that's
it's a classic.
Where I go back to.
Oh, yeah.
Gone in 60 Seconds is a huge favorite of mine.
Yes.
The original or the remake?
The remake, I guess.
Okay.
That's just my generation.
Yeah.
You know what? I really appreciated the Need for Speed movie that they did, believe it or not.
Yeah.
As terrible and as corny and as cheesy as it was, yes,
I watch it every time it's on, man.
I will admit I even bought it on iTunes. So
Well,
it was not
that confession.
Yeah, it was not a Oscar even mention or thought, but yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
It had cars.
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to say the original Fast and the Furious if I had to put my favorite on, because I just feel like that changed things for me.
Yeah.
That was kind of when I got to see the scene, and it was cool to see everybody's car. Each character had a different style car, and it was just cool to me. I remember that was the first thing that really made me want to build something of my own, and have my car out there. So yeah, if I had to put an answer on it, I would say the original Fast and Furious.
Awesome. Well, that's a great segue to the next question. Would you rather build it or buy it?
I'd rather build it.
Yes.
Like I said, my Lexus now has a new purpose. It currently sits unregistered, uninsured. But like I said, we kind of got robbed of a summer. I planned on having it on the track this summer, so I guess that has changed now till next year. Now that winter's coming, we're slowly exiting the race season here. Yeah. But that is officially my build car. I do plan on one day single turboing that, and we'll just see where it goes. But I don't ever plan on selling it, and that'll be the car that it's already got a lot of aftermarket parts on it already. But yeah, that's my build car.
Cool.
All right. Kind of along the same vein, more tech or less tech?
Ooh. Less tech. The more tech, the more chances for things to go wrong. I feel like I like the simple versions of things. Even my Cadillac, even though it is brand new, pretty much it is 2019. It's not overly done with bells and whistles. It just has kind of what you want, what you need, and nothing really more than that. But I can appreciate the new stuff and the new technology, but if it's not there, I'll be fine without it.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that'd be how you answered it when we were talking about your V8 purchase in the near future, getting something older.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
All right, 2 wheels or 4 wheels?
Ooh. Both.
Both. All right.
Why choose, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 motorcycles in my garage right now. I don't own all of them. I split between my brother, but I think there's 6 2-wheel vehicles in there right now, and then we've got 4 or 5 4-wheeled vehicles on the lot as well.
Awesome.
It really depends what the weather's like, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm a big motorcycle guy. I just recently bought another FZ09, so I ride Yamahas are my bike of choice. I had an FZ09 a couple years ago. I fell on some tough times, had to sell it, but I wanted it back. So I just recently bought another one. And yeah, I love it. So yeah, both would definitely have to be the answer to that question.
Awesome.
If that's okay.
No, that's absolutely okay.
Completely acceptable.
I had an 07 Honda Shadow, so a little more on the cruiser side, less on the sport bike side. But I sold it several years ago, and I kick myself every time I think about it. I wish I had that bike back. I love that bike.
It puts a hole in your heart, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You lived in OKC at the time, though, right?
I did.
So you had legit winners to worry about.
Well,
here, not so much.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got one more each. My last question for you. Favorite road trip snack?
Ooh, favorite road trip snack. I gotta go with peanuts. I always have peanuts. I mean, it's just something to just keep munching on, I guess. Peanuts on every trail mix, I guess I should say. The one with the little M&Ms in it.
Yes. Gotta get a little candy in there too. It can't all be healthy.
Yeah. It's a little treat.
I like it. All right, so I'm not 100% sure where you're at in New Jersey, but do you have any off-road areas around your area, like being able to go 4-wheeling and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I grew up in the woods. My cousin had a big lifted Bronco growing up, so we were always getting that thing stuck or breaking that in the woods somewhere.
Show me your shirt, Matt.
Currently,
Team Bronco.
Currently, I am. I bought, like I said, I bought a house in Atco, and I do have trails actually that go right out back, which is nice.
Awesome.
So I can take my dirt bike, right through my back gate, and I got some power lines that I can rip up and down. But right now I don't have anything, aside from the Subaru, I don't really have anything all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. So I haven't really been mudding or anything. We took that ugly S10 out and got stuck within like 10 minutes. So I had to have a friend. I had to have a friend with a Jeep come full beast mode out.
Yeah.
Team Jeep.
Well, okay, so that was kind of a lead-in 8th question, but on-road or off-road, what's your preference?
Right now, I'd have to say on road. Yeah. I've been spending a lot of time in the Cadillac and on the FZ09, so those are 2-speed vehicles, and they would both do pretty poorly on the dirt. So definitely on road.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, bonus question, because you just referenced both of them in the last answer. So Jeep or Bronco?
Jeep or Bronco? Ooh. Well, the new Bronco's coming out. I'd have to get some seat time in that to get a good, accurate comparison. That's tough. That Bronco was pretty beastly, but I'd have to go with Jeep just because it rescued me not too long ago.
Yes.
You hurt my heart.
I'm sorry.
We've got a little.
Like I said, To be determined, though, because I'm very interested to see what the new Bronco is going to be like.
As is the rest of the motoring world, I do believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Word and details are slowly trickling out, and Ford just announced this week that they have listened to us.
Yes, they have.
The gearheads of the world, and they're going to be adding a manual transmission option to the Sasquatch package, which was not going to be an option. So we still haven't gotten details about whether it's a 4-cylinder or a V6 or what exactly the combination is, but hey, save the manuals.
That's it.
It's nice when we are listened to. So
that's it.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike, we truly appreciate you coming on, just talking cars, talking children's books, talking history, everything about it. Just one last time, why don't you let people know where they can find you, find your products, and learn more about you?
Sure. My company's Motorhead Garage Productions. With that name, we're on Facebook and Instagram. My website is mhgproductions.com. From that website, you can get in contact right with me. If anybody wants to add me on Facebook, my personal page is Mike Myers, not Michael J or anything. It's just Mike Myers, and it has a picture of my 4 books on there.
Okay.
Send me a friend request, add my social media pages, and I'd love to hear from you and get those pictures of you reading my books, and we'll definitely share them. So that would be great.
We will tag all of that in the show notes and in the comments on YouTube and put on our interviews page on gtgaragetalk.com. So if people cannot find you from this episode, I don't know what more we can do. So we are doing our best, but like I said, we truly appreciate you coming on, and thank you for just spending a little time talking with us this evening.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys even having me on here. It's awesome. Thank you.
So we truly appreciate Mike for joining us and talking about his production company, Motorhead Garage Productions, and all their books and book series, especially T is for Turbo.
Yeah.
It is a favorite in both of our households with our kids. And you can check Mike out and all that he's doing. He's on Facebook and Instagram. Just look for Motorhead Garage Productions. It's MHG Productions if you want to check that out online, and we will put links in the show notes for you podcast listeners, down in the comments down below for you YouTubers out there, and you can check out everything that we're doing at Garage Talk at gtgaragetalk.com. You can find the latest news and car reviews and car information that we're into, as well as our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But until next time, bye.